Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to a new YouTube video. Currently in my car coming back from Summerland on my way to Kelowna. I go out to Summerland every week just to see my dad and my grandma. They live out here, and I usually get a workout in with my dad, or we golf. Today was actually our first golf round of the year, and it was pretty fun. But yeah, it's actually a beautiful drive. I'll show you guys this view right here. Like, goddamn. Very scenic out here in the Okanagan. I wanted to record a video mainly because I haven't put one out this week, and I committed to one per week. And one of the coined kind of slogans in our community, in the Elite Self community, is standard over state and standard over schedule, meaning that no matter what happens with your schedule, no matter what happens with your emotional state of being, physical or emotional state of being, still commit to hitting the standards that you commit to. Independent of if you feel like it or what happens with your schedule. And so I want to put something out for you guys today, and I want to put out a message that has to do with standard over state, which is executing your standards independent of your emotional state. The reason why that is such a powerful mantra is because our emotional states as human beings, especially if you're a person that is going after your full potential, are quite variable, up and down, complete roller coasters. You're dealing with childhood trauma, adversity, business adversity, personal adversity, challenges, and you're on an emotional roller coaster, and sometimes it's extremely overwhelming. There's so much going on, and you have to deal with so much at once. And so this is often as you're in order to max out your potential, you have to develop into a certain version of yourself, and you also have to take massive action in your vision. Like, there's two routes of action, right? There's the route of developing yourself, there's the route of your vision. You have to develop very actively and very intentionally in both of those routes. It's not easy, especially in the midst of a very disempowering emotional environment. Disempowering emotions, meaning that there are emotions that disempower you, like the opposite of empowered. So disempowered, and they just make you feel like shit, and they make you want to not do anything. They make you want to curl up in a ball. They make, like, it could be a depressed feeling, it could be an anxiety feeling, it could be self-doubt, combination, it could be overwhelm. There's so much. And one thing I've learned in my entrepreneurship journey so far, specifically over the last year, I've gained a lot of awareness around my inner emotional environment and how disempowering it actually has been this whole time. I started business. I officially started Elite Self Coaching 4.5 years ago. But before that, I was also kind of toying around with different things. But over the course of my business journey so far, 80% plus of my emotional environment has been disempowering or negative, quote unquote. Specifically, within the last year, I've gone through a large kind of emotional healing journey, and it's been 99% emotional pain. If you guys want more details on that, I posted one or two YouTube videos in June, July, August of 2023, as well as some Instagram posts there as well. So if you guys want more context there, you can check it out. But the vast majority of my life recently has been just internally has been emotionally painful. And I find myself waking up in states of anxiety, and before this was even the case, I'd very easily get into downward spirals of negative emotion through, let's say, a business adversity happens or whatever the case is. I'd be very fragile emotionally. It'd be very easy for me to go down a negative emotional path, and these emotional patterns are quite hard to overcome, because eventually we get into these places within our biochemistry where they manifest themselves. They perpetuate themselves, and eventually we call ourselves depressed, or we call ourselves anxious people. I haven't labeled myself with any of those things, because labels are handcuffs, and I know that what I'm experiencing is simply just a pattern. Again, it could be a combination of childhood, like suppressed emotion, which I know I have a lot of, and other things, and whatever. It could a disempowering emotional pattern can manifest through many different sources. I don't think it's too important to know the source. You don't need to know the source in order to heal it, because all you need is awareness behind the pattern. And like I said, over the last year, I've gained a lot of awareness behind my disempowering emotional patterns. And it's so important to attack this area of your own self-development face on, because if not, if you're relying on certain motivation, on certain emotions, motivation being one of them, to execute in your life, to do things, to move the needle forward, to do high quality action, then you're not going to achieve your max potential, right? This is a conversation of achieving your max potential. Many people are average and do not need to optimize this area of their self-development because they are not actively chasing their max potential. This is for a certain demographic of people who actually want the best out of themselves and the best out of their lives. And in order to get the best out of yourself, in order to develop into what I call your elite self and achieve what your true max potential is in life, like your dream life, you will have to develop yourself emotionally from everyone's inner environment is different. Everyone has a different combination of stuff, but you have to handle your stuff. I'm handling my stuff. It's been a slow, painful journey. It's been my perception of it, but I know that every ounce of disempowering emotion I feel and that I move through, that I process through, that I breathe through, as I continue to educate myself on it, and as I continue to develop time and energy and money towards my own development, I know that it's continually forging me into the version of myself I need to become in order to achieve my max potential. My max potential being, again, developing an elite self into a $1 million company, then a $1 billion company, helping to solve all world problems. These are massive goals. Most people don't think I'm serious, but I know I have to develop into a certain version of myself in order to really move the needle in those areas. This is part of it. Because one of the reasons why is because I know the world needs this type of development. And so I obviously need to go through it first in order to have any level of context and relatability and education and understanding behind what other people are going through before I can even begin to help the world in that manner. And I'm grateful for the fact that my experience so far in my journey has allowed me to help clients in this area as well, and friends and things like that. But on a mass level, I definitely need to progress throughout this journey. But that's kind of a side tangent. I just wanted to bring like a basic level of awareness to you around the emotional journey, and perhaps this is just your message to start honing in on it. Like, a lot of people just experience disempowering emotional patterns and do not wonder why is this? Where is this coming from? What is the cause of this? Again, the source isn't imperative, but just asking yourself and getting curious about it, and starting to notice when it comes up, notice what triggers it, notice what type of action typically follows a disempowering emotional pattern for you, and start to develop tools to actually change your disempowering emotional patterns. And that can look like many different things. It can look like simply just breathing, being aware of it. It can look like moving your body, changing what you're focusing on, even changing your diet. It can look like changing what your inputs are, what you're consuming, what books you're consuming, what social media you're consuming. It can involve who you're spending time around and who you're exposing yourself to. It could have to do with the amount of action you're taking towards your vision, because when you're not taking action towards the vision, you're going to be miserable. When you're not self-actualizing, you're going to be miserable. So, I don't know, there could be a lot of different causes of disempowering emotional patterns, and a lot of different things that amplify your disempowering emotional patterns. And you need to start to become aware of those, because the awareness is half the battle. And if there's one punchline you can take away from this video, it's that it's worth it to do the work to start to become aware of what your patterns are. It's important to know that you are not your patterns. That is not who you are. It's just a pattern. It's just how you've been conditioned, either by yourself or through someone else. So start to develop awareness around your emotional patterns. Start to think about what type of emotional environment do you want. What Tony Robbins calls this your emotional home, right? Where you live emotionally. What are your 5 to 10 default emotions that you currently experience in your life? And what are your 5 to 10 default emotions that you want to start to experience more of in your life? Start to practice those emotions. Practice gratitude, practice joy, practice peace, practice excitement, whatever floats your boat. And these are hard muscles to build. They're hard muscles to build. This is not easy. This is hard work. It's really underrated work, but it's work that's worth doing, because again, you must do it in order to become your elite self and max out your potential. So I didn't really have a whole lot of tools in this video or action steps per se, but I just wanted to, again, bring your guys' attention towards this area of your development, and bring your attention towards the fact that it is a high leverage area of your development. A lot of people hear the term emotional development and don't really take it seriously, or they're not really sure kind of what it is or why it's important or if they need it. And in the vast majority of cases, I think you do need it. And everyone has a different starting place. Everyone has a different combination of different factors internally. But again, the punchline of today's video is figuring out what are your factors internally, what is your emotional environment like, how does it affect your execution towards your vision, and what do you want your emotional environment to like, what would be most optimal for you, starting to practice those emotions and equip yourself with certain tools to get there. And if you want, you can message me and I can give you my 2 cents on what might be useful for you in your emotional journey. But that's pretty much the video for today, guys. Hope it was valuable for you, and see you in the next one.